The story of champion wrestler Anthony Robles can only be described as remarkable. Born with one leg, his grit and determination helped him defy the odds and make history in sport, and it wasn't long before Hollywood came calling, but he only answered when the right team came along, and that team was Oscar-winning editor turned director William Goldenberg, producers Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and stars JHARREL Jerome and Jennifer Lopez, and together they brought Anthony's story to the big screen in the heartbreaking and also heartwarming drama Unstoppable.
So why do you do this? Why do you wrestle?
When people look at me, the first thing they see is what's missing. If I win, having one leg won't be the most important thing about me.
When it came to embodying the nature, character, and wrestling prowess of Anthony Robles himself, a man that is as fierce on the wrestling mat as he is kind-hearted in his personal life, it required an actor with a passion to truly dive into all aspects of what makes Anthony so unique, and that was Emmy-winning star of When They See Us, JHARREL Jerome, who committed himself to a total transformation of mind and body.
Gita De Silva, Arise Play, Nigeria. If one thing stands out about this film, it is the physicality of your performance. So I was just curious, what was harder for you to wrap your head around? Was it the wrestling part of things, or was it more being able to completely overhaul your physical equilibrium so you move like Anthony, who does everything on just one leg?
It was all of that. It was all of it in one. You know, to me, studying to do this part was almost like a puzzle, and there was different pieces to it. You know, once the wrestling felt fluid for me and I understood it, I realized, well, I gotta get on the crutches and make sure that the crutches are fluid and make sense. Then once that was done, I had to realize, well, my posture, because to me, Anthony's like a martini glass, to where his posture's so perfect upright, and then it slim downs perfectly. So me, I'm not. I'm very, you know, my generation hunched over, looking down. And so there was a lot of things that my body was used to that I had to change and rewire within myself. And that ultimately became an all-around physical effort. There was kind of no moment where my body wasn't in some new physical challenge. And so it was almost like practice makes perfect on the crutches, with the wrestling, with the posture and the balance, so that by the time I got on set, I can ignore that part and focus on the emotions and focus on the choices that I have to make.
With your experience from making this film, I'm just curious, as an actor, if you're presented with a choice of play an iconic person who's passed away, but then you have to contend with the audience's pre-established knowledge of that person and they measure you by that. Or what you've done with this film, play a remarkable person who's still alive, but then you contend with the audience and the opinion of that person. Which one presents itself to you as a harder task for an actor?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. I think I would prefer to do what I've done now, so that I can have more of my own emotional connection to it and a personal connection to it, because I think the best performance comes from it being passion, you know? And so Anthony brought that passion to me by meeting him, by getting to know him and his family. But what I think is probably harder is the other, where you do have this sort of pressure and this preconceived idea. A lot of people don't know Anthony, so they'll get to learn him through me, as opposed to, so they've learned someone else, and now I have to embody them and mirror the perception in everybody else's head, which is such a tricky thing. On top of, you don't have much information besides the thing that you make up, and the person next to you can make up the same thing or something different, you know? So with Anthony, I had a specific guideline, I had a structure, and it helps you zone in and tap in more.
The champ is here! Celebration dinner for Anthony!
The mom told me about that drag scholarship.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna keep my options open.
When you could go to school for free? Hey, you heard what your son said? He's gonna keep his options open.
Every big college
has seen you wrestle, and so far, Drexel's the only one that made the offer.
Have you heard from ASU? The best college wrestlers in the world go there.
Anthony, the best I could offer you is to walk on.
I wish you the best, bud.
Much of the beauty of the story of Anthony Robles lies in his relationship with his mother, Judy. Only 16 when she had him, their lives have been intertwined in a way only mother and child could ever know. And capturing the unwavering love of Judy for her son, no matter what challenges they faced, fell to movie and music star Jennifer Lopez, who Judy credits with giving her the time and support she needed to truly open up and reveal what had been a tough but rewarding life as a mother.
You play the role of the mother, Judy Robles, and over the course of the film, we see her make effectively bad decisions. But as an actor in a film, you know that she isn't the villain of the piece. She's a good person making bad decisions. So how did you find a measure for your performance so that you kept the audience on side and you didn't lose them because they'd lost empathy for her through the character's choices?
Yeah, you know, those are always tricky things, but I feel that when you really play it truthfully and play the humanity of the character, anybody can relate to that. There's not a person out there who has not been through struggles, who has not made a bad choice in relationship, who has not, made the, wish they had done something better. And I think the thing with Judy is that she was such a good mom and she was so there for her sons. There was never any real concern for me about that. I knew that they would see her heart first and foremost.
After the screening in the Q&A, you went into depth about how closely both you and Jarrell had worked with Judy and with Anthony. But as an artist, with that kind of close collaboration, was there a point where you had to impose a certain level of distance so that you didn't jeopardize your chances of giving an objective and truly authentic performance?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, no, I think the more help that you can get if you're lucky enough to play somebody who's alive, because I've also played, real characters who were not, all the information that you can get, you can use in some way. And I knew the story that we were trying to tell. And it's a victorious kind of triumphant story. But it was very important, and Judy and I actually talked about this, how important it was to show the vulnerable side, the struggle that, she and Anthony and the family went through in their kind of dysfunctional family dynamic that they had. And that was going to make the story even better. Because, what makes it great is that there was struggle. And they understood that, as kind of probably scared as they were, and nervous about, putting those details of their life out there. Nobody wants to, as they say, air the family laundry. But I think they understood that was part of it. And that's the part that made it very relatable, human, and at the end of the day, triumphant.
I'm not interested.
Listen up. You're gonna have to beat out men who were recruited to be on the Arizona State University wrestling team. You're gonna have to prove everyone wrong just to make the team.
Hey, sure you don't want to run track?
Pulling me back, you're pulling me down.
You are 6 months behind on the mortgage.
It's a perfect opportunity for Anthony to pitch in.
I'm not letting him quit wrestling, and I'm not letting him quit school.
I ain't got a choice, I can't just...
I got you. I'm here. Anthony, your greatest opponent, never gonna be somebody standing across from you on a mat.
From the director to the actors, producers, and everyone who crosses paths with Anthony Robles, he always leaves an impression that is filled with admiration. First a student and then a wrestling champion, now a coach, motivational speaker, husband, and father. The Anthony Robles effect continues to inspire, and nothing but good can come from that.
I mean, from what the talks you've given about the film, you worked so closely with Anthony from the very beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
You've done biopics before with When They See Us. Do you think that because of the experience on this film, it will leave more of a psychological and emotional imprint on you as a person and not just an actor?
Yeah, I 100%. I mean, When They See Us did as well, because I got to spend time with Corey as well. I'm lucky I've done two biopics and I've actually spent time with them because they've been alive and not only that, but willing to be a part of the story. I don't know if I do this again and I get lucky, but this time around, first of all, I be in the gym now, I work out now. So it changed a lot of my mentality and my drive and my understanding of health and care and self-care. And then psychologically, I got to tap into sort of emotions that I remember as a child because Anthony and I are very similar. Like he's very close to his mom, I'm very close to my mom. And so a lot of what I pulled from the performance was actually from me and who I am as a person, which was a beautiful thing. As opposed to Corey, I had to pull from things that weren't familiar to me. So yeah.
Thank you so much. And you're the heart of this film. You did a
Oh,
wonderful job.
thank
Bravo.
you so much. Thank you.
What's all this?
Dear Mr. Robles, I'm in the 3rd grade and you're my hero. I wanted to tell you how much I look up to you. You make people believe in something.
Surprised to see you. Don't be.
When they see you, they don't see someone who's missing a leg. They see someone who is unstoppable.
Whenever I've met people who've had a young mother or single mother, and I talk to them, you always see that there's a recurrent theme of fast track to maturity. And it's the same with Anthony, where there's points where he had to be the parent to his mom. Do you think that heightened level of maturity contributes to what makes him so magical?
Yeah, I think, their journeys, they were definitely destined to be together. I think he had the perfect mom for him. I don't think if he would have had a more, a mom who was, older or anything like that, the fact that she was 16, the fact that he was born without a leg, the fact that those were the things where they were able to kind of bond on a certain level, that they were both struggling with something and then giving each other such love and giving each other such support throughout their lives that really created this beautiful idea of like we can do anything. And I think she was so hell-bent on making sure that he knew his worth and value, that
Yeah.
as he became the full beautiful person that he is today, she was inspired by that and became a better, fuller version of herself. And I don't think it was any mistake that, Anthony got Judy as a mom.
Amazing. Thank you so much for talking
Thank
to
you.
us. And congrats on
Lovely
the film.
questions. Thank you so much.
I'm not done yet.
You can show them that anything is possible.
Oh my God, is that guy missing a leg?
That's my son. What, you're not gonna cheer?
I used to be angry all the time, but I'm not angry anymore.